Hey everyone, this is Shotzi78 and possibly Boopy if he sits up for the Rough Cuts on Sunday. Today I'm going to be reviewing possibly one of the worst movies ever to be made, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians from 1964. This was directed by Nicholas Webster, who thankfully did not direct very much. This I first saw this movie when I was little, maybe 10 or something, was on television. And even when I was little, I knew this was a bad movie. And as I got older, I watched it every holiday season. I felt compelled to watch it. I don't know why. I still don't know why. This movie begins with two Martian children watching television, which apparently we find out is Earth television. And as they're watching this, they realize that they don't have toys or tender loving care, and they become extremely depressed. And they stop eating, they can't sleep, they have to be put to sleep by the sleep spray that their parents squirt on them. And so then the parents try to figure out what's going on. So they visit this wise man who lives out in the middle of nowhere, as all wise men do. And he tells them it's because it's Christmas time on Earth, and so they need to go find Santa Claus because the kids need to be children because they're trained from the time that they're born in Mars to be like just kind of really smart, upstanding adults, and they need to be kids. So they come to the conclusion that they need to go to Earth and kidnap Santa Claus. So they leave that night with the leader of the Martians and then a bunch of the other elders of the group who don't really seem that old. And of course you have the one just kind of douchebag of the group who goes and tries to sabotage everything. And so they go to Earth and they find these two little kids who tell them where Santa Claus is because otherwise they're just going to grab a Salvation Army Santa. So the kids sell out Santa Claus. They tell him where he is. And so they go to the North Pole to kidnap Santa. So they're up there and you've got robots, you've got rogue polar bears, and they get Santa. Anyway, they get Santa, who is played by John Call. And John Call, I think, has to be the creepiest Santa that I've ever seen in any movie because all he does is laugh. He doesn't really do anything, and I get freaked out by people who laugh too much, and he laughs a lot. And it's a creepy laugh. It's like a serial killer laugh. This is a bad movie. It's a really bad movie. I haven't decided if it's a good bad movie, or just plain bad movie. If you drink, I think you might need to be heavily inebriated to watch this and to really, really like it. Otherwise, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And the theme song will get stuck in your head for years. But overall, I don't know how I feel about this. I'd maybe watch it. If you watch it with a group of people, the sort of things where you're not really paying attention to it. What else? I mean, the cast is pretty unremarkable, although it has Zadora in this when she's 10. This is her first movie. And then she didn't act again for a really long time. I think 16 years or something she didn't act again. And then you also have Ned Werdimer, who played the doorman on the Jeffersons. He's in this. The guy who plays Droppo, who's basically the Spango of the movie, and he's a Tony Award winning actor. Bill McCutcheon, I think his name is. But yeah, he's actually won a Tony. So he's pretty much the only guy who has any sort of acting cred in this. Because everyone else, well, aside from Vincent, I don't remember his name, Vincent Beck, who played Voldor, the bad guy, the douchey guy who tries to kill the kids and everything else. He was in a lot of stuff. He was in a lot of television shows. But otherwise, it's just kind of a blah cast. I mean, you've got the highlights, which don't last very long, because you have, the polar bear. The polar bear personally was like my favorite.
Uh-oh!
But otherwise, it's a really bad movie. If you're gonna watch this movie, I suggest just watching like when MST3K did it. They released that along with Manos Hands of Fate. So you've got Torgo in that, and then you've got the robot Torg in this. So watch it that way. If it's just on its own, don't watch it because it's really, really bad. So I hope you all have a happy holiday. For those of you who are in the Northeast suffering from the snow, I hope you don't get snowed in and lose power. Otherwise, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever you all celebrate out there watching this. If you don't celebrate anything, then Happy Sunday. And I will see you next year. Bye.